What's going on, guys? Welcome back to week 16 of the Norfolk Defenders Madden 06 rebrand, and this week we've got the big one. This is for all the marbles. We're playing the DC Dynamo. This will likely decide the top seed in the NFC. This will likely decide the division race, and a win here today is the difference between maybe first and fifth place in the NFC in the playoff race. But before we get into the team matchup in the game this afternoon, first, I wanted to go over the Pro Bowl selections. We've had the Pro Bowl selections for our team. We had quite a few Pro Bowl selections. Derek Michaels was the obvious choice. Get a look here at his stats. 1,341 rushing yards with only 2 games left to go in the season. He also has 399 receiving yards, so about 1,750 total yards, which I checked the stats shortly before the beginning of this video. He is only 12 total yards behind the leader in the entire league. So, I mean, Michaels is probably one of the biggest offensive forces in the entire league. But on top of that, there were some surprises on the tight end side. Gene Abbott, despite only having about 220 reception yards and a couple touchdowns, is going to the Pro Bowl as a tight end. I know tight ends back in 2006 were a little bit different than they are now in the fact that they maybe didn't accumulate the number of yards and everything that they do now, but 200 yards apparently is good enough to make the Pro Bowl. We also got pretty much our entire offensive line, so left tackle's going, center is going, right guard's going, and right tackle. They've prevented a lot of sacks this year, and a lot of the sacks that I do run into just happen to be with me scrambling with carry. Still low enough to have the offensive line make it to the Pro Bowl. On the defensive side, nobody on the defensive line. Damon Connor is our Pro Bowl selection at middle linebacker, since we tend to get a lot of interceptions with him and some big plays across the middle. And in the secondary, we have Daryl Glenn and Chris Coombs going to the Pro Bowl. They both have about 4 interceptions, which is good for about tops in the league. And there you have it. Those are our Pro Bowl selections. A few players that might have gone, like Leslie Reed and Brent Edwards. I mean, he just hasn't really had the turnover opportunities that our other corners have had, but he's still been playing some pretty good defense to let some other guys shine. Edwards really hasn't gotten burned that much this year, but there you go. There's our Pro Bowl selections, and now we will get into the game with the DC Dynamo. So I mentioned last week, this game is going to be a very defensive and run-oriented game, which is kind of how most of our games go. But we have 2 of the top run defenses in the league going head-to-head, and our running games are respectable on both sides. And regarding the records, I just want to say, if we win this game, we get the #1 seed, no doubt about it. If the Dynamo win, though, they control their own destiny. We would both be the same record, but they have the 2-game tiebreaker. At that point, it's up to them to win to secure the 1 spot. As you get a look there at DC Stadium, we're in another dome stadium, although a couple weeks ago we played in a dome stadium and there's some wind still, so we'll see if there's some wind in the coin toss as we get to midfield here. There's the Dynamo with their kind of a mix between Patriots and Bills colors. Got the white helmets, and there is indeed wind. I just don't understand. It's pretty strong here today, 5 or 6 miles per hour. I'm going to go against the wind so we can get it in the second quarter. And there you have it. There's your standings. The Crocs also won today, so they are pretty well set to make the playoffs, I would assume, unless some last-minute shenanigans happen. Pretty incredible. I mean, I don't feel like our team's reached our full potential, but like 2 of our divisional foes are also some of the best teams in the NFC. Again, this entire roster was just using Smash Mouth defense, which the game auto-generates a bunch of players primarily on defense and their overall rankings. What I should say is the defense is a little bit stronger than some of the other positions that you'll find, but every team was made the same. So like we got the same team that other... Oh, that's a good catch by Timmerman there, the tight end. But just to finish my train of thought, no team got any like special conditions or players aside from like the free agents that were in the free agent pool. I had really no control over that. I think the Dynamo do have Ty Law on corner, if I remember correctly though. This one's going across the middle. Reed tipped it and then caught it on the second try. He's going to get to about the 50-yard line. Let's get a look at that replay. You see the quarterback, who again is lefty. That threw me off last time. Just hawk it across the middle and into double coverage, plus Reed coming over. He got it there, and then, oh, he actually kind of had it tipped to him by his teammate. That's some really good animation right there. But second play of the game, we get a turnover, and we get the ball in some prime position. A little bit surprising that the Dynamo decided to pass 2 different times to start off the game. I was expecting a little bit more of the run, as you saw with the 4-3 formation for the first defensive package of the game. Michaels is going to get about 6 or 7 on that run. Now, the only thing is our kicking range isn't very great, and the wind is going significantly against us, so even if we get like 10 to 15 yards here and get us close to the 30, I don't know if it's going to be enough for field goal range, so we still have a little bit of work to do on this drive. There's Minter with the catch, going to get across the 35. DC sent some significant pressure there, and we were still able to lob it over the defense, rushing up the middle and over to Minter over on the right side. There's Michaels. He's got Kozlowski a little bit as his blocker. Still picks up a solid game of about 6 or 7, and now we are into what I would consider field goal range. We'll try a draw play here on 2nd and 3. Middle linebacker cheating inside. Well, they brought, I don't know if I consider that a blitz, but they had a lot of players kind of stacked the middle there. Michaels is still able to get the first down out to the 21. Minter's pretty well covered. I'm just going to duck out of bounds with carry here after a gain of about 3 or 4. We're starting to be a little bit safer with our throws and kind of, you know, now that I've got some trust in what my players' abilities are and a little bit of familiarity with them as the season nears a close. There's Michaels on the toss. The corner came straight off his blocker, but Michaels cuts it back inside for a gain of a couple. So 3rd and 3 from the 14. I'm going to go with some slant pattern across the middle here from the I formation. This is one of our best plays in terms of success rate on these 3rd and short opportunities. Dynamo drop into zone. Oh, I got tripped up by the guy's feet as he was on the ground. Thought I had a blocker there to maybe scramble across the first down marker, but Carey just tripped over the defense's foot, and that will hold us to a field goal try. 30 yards. Mansfield's got plenty of range. It's just up to the kicking accuracy on this one. Basically an extra point in today's NFL. 74 accuracy will do the trick, and off the turnover we take the 3-0 lead. Again, wish we would have capitalized with a touchdown. That's the one thing that's kind of lacking in our offensive game right now, but still able to drive, take off about 2 minutes on the clock. And now we'll see if our defense can get us back again. Tucker will take the kickoff return and get across the 30. And then again, a recap from the last time we played the Dynamo. That game was only 10-7, so scoring points, like, we need to take the opportunities where we can get them. A touchdown would be great as we get later into the game, but any points are good. There's Tucker again, this time across the 45. I cheated a little bit over to the left, and the Dynamo were able to find their man across the middle where I was originally covering. So another 1st and 10 here. The Dynamo are going to go with the draw. Not much there. They might have picked up a couple on the draw play. Even though it's 2 wide receivers and 2 tight ends, I'm going to bring out my dime package here. They are, aside from that draw, passing primarily, as there they go out into motion. Both tight ends, now wide receivers. Play fake. Oh, a good route across the first down marker, but dropped by the receiver. And that could prove to be a big drop as the Dynamo are at a 3rd and 9 around midfield. This time they are again going with their 2 tight end package, though they'll probably go out for a pass here. Valentine doesn't have much down the field, only a couple receivers that were fairly well covered. The way he kind of like shifted off to the side, I thought he was going to run, but ultimately did not and got sacked. So the defenders with a good stand around midfield are going to prevent a scoring opportunity for the Dynamo, and Lamont will take the punt on this one. I'm actually just going to fair catch it around the 17, and we'll see what our offense can do here on their next drive. If we're able to have another solid drive down the field, by the time we get into field goal range, I think it'll be the 2nd quarter and we'll have the wind with us. So that'll kind of play into effect here. Michaels takes this one across the 20. This might be a dangerous pick on 2nd and 7, but we had this play action pass work to Minter last time around. If not, we can always dump it off to our offensive players off to the side. Oh, that was nearly a pick 6. I just tried to get rid of it as fast as I could, but I couldn't really see over to the right. So Carey avoided the sack, but very nearly turned that one over. That nearly just killed our momentum. We've been doing some good work here in the 1st quarter. See if we have Lamont across the middle. Yes, indeed. I threw it a little bit before he cut back across the middle, but we're able to adjust. The throw was there. Let's go back to running the ball here now that we have the 1st down. So here is the stretch play to Michaels. Gets nothing on that one, 2nd and 10. Rather, that will be 2nd and 11. I suppose we'll go with the pass play here. We have Minter on the little option to get us a few yards, if nothing else. And he's actually going to get the first down. I thought for sure he'd be tackled right away, but instead gets out to the 41. As we near the end of the first quarter, Michaels is likely just going to take this dive play, and that will do it for the first quarter. Sheds one tackle, tries to cut it off to the sideline. Doesn't quite get there though, and after a gain of 8, we're at about midfield, and a good solid first quarter to start things off. We almost had some peril strike with that pick 6 opportunity, but we've got a turnover of our own. It led to 3 points on the board, and now our offense is doing what they can to capitalize and extend the lead here. 2nd and 2, go with some slants here. We got Nelson out to the left, I think, is our primary target. Oh wow, good zone coverage. Ooh, today's NFL, that would be a late hit. Carry, scrambles, loses a yard, but good coverage by the defense there. Their zones were on points. All of my options were kind of taken up here. Didn't want to force anything, so 3rd and 3. We'll see if we can dump this off to Michaels or maybe get Minter. Minter throws a little bit behind him, but he's able to adjust out to the 40, and Minter's been having some pretty solid catches here as we get into the late weeks of the regular season. Been relying on him a little bit more as a receiver. Toss is going to be over to the left. Couldn't quite cut it all the way outside, but Michaels is still able to get a few yards on that one. 2nd and 6. Go with some play action here on 2nd and 6, although last time we did play action, they sent the blitz. We'll adjust with the audible if they show it again. A couple of their linebackers are, I think, going to fake it. I think they'll drop back into zone. Yes, indeed. Kozlowski. That was too strong of a throw. Should have set my feet. There was more than enough room to go on there. 3rd and 6 now. Strong safety cheated in, so see if we can get the draw play past him here on 3rd and 6. Oh, they brought the blitz. Michaels is not able to get all the way out to the first down marker, but gets us a couple yards to work with for the field goal try. 49 yards, which is about what Mansfield can hit in neutral wind. This one, the wind is going significantly with him. Come on, wind. Oh, he missed. Let's see how much he missed by here. That much. So the field goal try is no good. I had 94 power on that plus the wind, so not sure what was up there. Unless the 100% power gets you an extra boost or something. Now the Dynamo are going to take it to the ground. They get a few yards out to the ball carrier on that one. They're showing 2 running back, 2 tight end set on this next play, so I'm going to try and send the blitz, assuming it's a run. Warwick had nothing there, gets met immediately and thrown on his back. Loss of 1 on the play, so 3rd and 8. They'll go with their 2 tight end formation off to the side here. Last time they went into blocking coverage. Connor was there on Timmerman, but Timmerman was a little bit out in front, so the completion was made. Got a few extra yards on the ground after the completion, so now the Dynamo have a 1st and 10 from the 41. Warwick throws his shoulder, gets out to the 25. Had an opportunity with Cleveland that I missed. And now the Dynamo are in scoring range. This should be doable for a field goal even with the wind going against them. Although that one is brought out to the secondary ball carrier. I think his name was Teal. Loses a couple yards on that one. Yes, indeed. Warwick's taking a break, so Teal is their running back, or Tiali. This one gets tossed up into triple coverage. Gets bobbled around a few times before ultimately falling incomplete. Now on 3rd and 12, I'm going to go with the zone package. We don't want to let up the first down. If they get a little bit close to the first down but don't make it, that's fine. Field goal will likely tie the game in that case, but I don't want to give up the touchdown if I can, or the first down. Connor was there even with the difficult camera, but there was another defender that was also in the same area. Not quite sure what the quarterback saw in that situation, but on a 3rd down, I mean, you can't make that play if you're the CPU. You need to just throw the ball away or make the short completion, hang on to the ball, and at least tie the game up with a field goal. So we will take that. And with the 4-yard gain on first down, I'm going to let this run down to the 2-minute warning. So again, a low-scoring game. DC kind of threw away their opportunity there, and we've missed a field goal try, but all things considered, the ball's been moved pretty well by both teams. Strong safety coming in. We might have Abbott off to the side, or Michaels. Tried to hit him with the spin move. Instead, gets kind of dragged close to the first down marker without quite getting there. I think it's third and a pretty long 1 yard. So we're just going to go ahead and go for the goal line formation here, see if we can get some big blockers up front, make some plays. I thought about seeing if there was a hole out to the left and cutting it outside, but we're just looking for some first down yardage. We got it there on that play. Fresh set of downs from the 34. And now we can start kicking our 2-minute offense into effect here. So we have a minute and a half to go here. Page might have some single coverage out to the left. Yes, indeed, we're going for it long. Safety's not going to get there, and there is the catch to Page out to the 20. Absolute dime of a throw by Derek Carey, and that might prove to be a big completion in this one, as now we have a minute to run down the clock and get some more points on the board. Michaels takes that one for a few yards, but going back to that pass play, I mean, that's something that we don't really do very often. We don't take shots down the middle very often, and you know, sometimes I see single coverage like that, I'm just like, let's give it a try. Do some slants here on second down, just some short yardage stuff. Michaels is all alone out to the left. Oh, he bobbles it and can't catch it. Missed opportunity there. Michaels might have had a chance at the end zone had he caught that, but instead a big 3rd down and 7 now. We'll have a few options across the middle. Lamont can't hold on to the ball, gets rocked by the safety. Well, I was asking maybe a little bit too much on that one, but this should be another decent field goal try for Mansfield right down the middle from 34 yards. Not a very long try. 88's on the board, and there we go. We take the 6-0 lead, so I feel like we're outplaying DC pretty significantly, but we only have 6 points to show for it, which a touchdown by them takes the lead. We'll see if they make an effort to drive down the field with 34 seconds left to go. We do get the ball at halftime. Tucker's had some good returns though as he gets out to the 35, and with 30 seconds to go, DC will indeed try and make a run down the field. 4 wide receiver set on first down. I'm just going to go with our deep coverage. They also have all 3 timeouts, I believe. So Connor's got free reign across the middle. He's looking at his short yardage option all the way. Somehow makes the catch. I thought for sure that lazy float off to the side was going to get tipped away, but they got 4 yards. Not really doing much down the field, but completion's a completion. Gets you a little bit closer to the Hail Mary, I suppose. Out to about the 40. Quarterback got his. He threw there. That would have been dangerous. I don't know if our safety would have been there to help us if the throw was made at full strength. So 3rd and 6. DC will likely try and go for the first down try here before going long, but just in case, I have 4 safeties or 4 zone coverages with the safeties. So they send Warwick not quite into a receiver slot, but off to the side. Connor nearly picks that one off too, and it's a 4th down. Some great defense being displayed here by Norfolk, but again, DC is just kind of being a little bit pass happy, just letting the ball fly freely. It's led to some opportunities where we were able to force a turnover and prevent them from getting any points on the board. Lamont gets tackled at the 30, but I'm just going to go ahead and kneel this one off to the second half. Even if they call some timeouts, it's not going to matter. I'll just kneel out the rest of the half. They will not, so we will take a 6-0 lead into halftime. Again, we got to capitalize on some of those touchdown opportunities. We had that long pass to get us into the red zone that we were only able to get a field goal on. And if we want to make it anywhere in the playoffs, that's also something that we'll need in a big game like that. Didn't show the stats at the start of the first half like they sometimes do. I'm interested to see how much yardage and also time of possession we have. Lamont will take this one out to the 26. I'm willing to bet we have a significant amount of pass yards though, since usually we run the ball, and if anything, like it's an even split. Passing is kind of dominating this one here today. Michaels. I thought he was down. I'm going to challenge this one. He's been putting the ball on the ground significantly the last few weeks as well. That's something we have to keep an eye on. I thought his elbow was down here. This will be a huge turnover to start the second half if that's the case. It's going to be hard to tell. The ball's kind of coming out right around the same time his elbow is down. Get another look here at this angle, even though it's pretty much the same as the first one. His butt might have even been down too, but that could be a fumble. Play reversed. We might have gotten away with one there. Like I said, I thought his elbow was close and maybe his buttocks. The ball started spinning, I think, a fraction before he was down. Replay doesn't seem to think so, but Michaels will get the ball one more time on that one, pick up a gain of 4. And it's a big 3rd and 5. We don't want to go 3 and out to start the third quarter, although a punt here wouldn't nearly be as bad as a turnover inside the 30. Might have had Michaels over there after the initial defenders running into everybody, but Carey will scramble for a first down nonetheless. They're kind of covering those running back like dump-offs more than usual, but there have been some plays where it just seems like Carey has had some room to run if he needs to. He's not the fastest guy in the world, but he's picked up a few yards in that regard. Got 6 yards on the toss play. I'm going to keep it on the ground again on 2nd and 4. See if we can make a push for the first down marker on the ground. I don't know why I hit the spin move button. I just wanted to take that hole out to the left. Michaels gets 1 yard there, so 3rd and 3. I might pass on this play. I'll try the slants play again, though. DC dropped into zone. Michaels was open, bobbled the ball again. A little bit of a dart again by Carey's part, but falls incomplete. We're going to have to punt this one away. 20 accuracy on the punt's not going to help. That's going to go out around the 35. So DC with some decent field position. Again, not quite inside our 30 yet, as that turnover would have put them at, but that looked like a botched misdirection play. Still able to get a few yards on it. So 2nd and 4, they're going to have 3 tight ends on this formation. I'm going to bring a blitz. This is almost certainly a run. Even if it isn't, I'll be able to control Connor, maybe cover across the middle. It is a run to work. He's able to get a few yards. So a 3rd and short upcoming for DC. I might try another blitz, but this time with man-to-man coverage for the remaining players on the field, in case they decide to go with the pass. Oh, Vargas had that one. Combs is able to get a hand on it. That was a... Oof. That could have been a long ball down the field, if not for the pressure. Fans are chanting to go for it, but DC is going to punt the ball away from midfield once again, and fair catch, but it's going to go out of bounds right at about the 20 anyway. First down, I'm going to see if I can fool him with the play-action rollout. Abbott's not going out for a pass, though. He's our main tight end target. Carey, oh, I was waiting for our blocker to pick up that guy who made the sack and then dart ahead with Carey, but I moved the button to like move Carey and nothing happened, so we just kind of continued to stand there until the sack animation. That's what I get for not going with the play action, I suppose. Another one out to Michaels that just isn't there. Haven't really been connecting on those throws off to the side, so 3rd and 16. I'm going to try the same play again just because I thought we had something there, but not sure if we'll be able to really get first down yardage on this one. Although if they are going to single cover Lamont and Minter off to the side, might have Michaels once again. Dives ahead for the first down marker, but it's not going to get there. 4th and inches. I'm not going to chance it. Especially that's a long inches, but I'm not going to chance it from my own 30-yard line. We'll see if our punt can put them back further into their own territory than the last one. There we go, 95 accuracy. Booming kick down the field off to the 15. Oh, he fumbled it. I ran in a little bit long with our defender, but DC is able to adjust and Fall on the ball at the 22. Still a great punt. Great placement there. There's that same running play that they did last time, but this time I knew what to expect, and we were able to tackle them after a loss of about 3. Our defense has been holding true for 2.5 quarters so far. It's just sometimes that fourth quarter can be a little bit questionable as the opposition starts to air it out across the field. So far their passing game hasn't done too much consequential work, as Warwick is... oh no. Warwick's gonna break this one for a touchdown. We had a few chances to tackle him. It did not work, and that's our longest rushing touchdown against of the season. The extra point's going to put the Dynamo up by a score of 7-6, and that missed field goal is really coming back to us now. So 2 plays on that drive. They lost 3 on the first one, decided to go back to the run, and it paid dividends. This is a situation that we don't find ourselves in very often, and that is being down in the close to the fourth quarter. Could be worse. I mean, it's only 1 point. We still have to make up that point over the next 6 minutes. That one's a bit of a line drive, and that one's going to be deflected, but, you know, we had that one-on-one coverage. Worth a shot. 2nd and 10 here. We're going to go with our play across the middle here. There's Minter, gets us the first down. Like I said, he's been solid the last few weeks, getting us a lot of catches. Across the middle especially. We don't have to get too pass happy here though. Like I've called a few pass plays to start, but we can continue to try and run the ball there. As I don't know who is supposed to be blocking there, but defender immediately brushed past him on that one. Try some short yardage options here on 2nd and 10. We got Minter across the middle, Abbott going off to the side. Minter's open, but I decided to throw it as soon as he starts to run into the defense. Probably should have thrown that a little bit earlier. So on this play, we're going to have to go with Brown or Abbott as our options. There goes the strong safety. Are they going to double Minter? I wanted Abbott to go out a little bit closer to the right. Ended up throwing it back down the middle into triple-ish coverage. So another punt here. 2 straight punts. Maybe even... yeah, this is our 3rd straight punt, actually. See if we can coffin corner him this time. He's actually going to get a decent return as the blocking is really holding up. Tucker's been pretty good on those returns so far today, as the Dynamo are out to the 28-yard line. 30 seconds remain in the first quarter. They're still going to pass. I thought I was going to get hit with a pass interference there, even though that was a not very catchable ball, but incomplete. We take those. 2nd and 10. Would be shocked if the Dynamo decided to not run the ball here. Timmerman getting set in motion off to the left, so they have 2 tight ends to the left, fullback out to the right. Work again. Almost broke through the middle, but gets stopped after a gain of a couple. Now on 3rd and 7, this is a big defensive play as we near the fourth quarter. Can we stop him with a 3 and out? I don't know if... no, he didn't catch that, but it was going to be short of a first down anyway. Man, I couldn't even see that guy off to the side. I just decided to blitz as Connor. I couldn't even get past the fullback or whoever the running back is blocking, but short punt. Lamont will get this one at the 30, and we will start off the fourth quarter down by 1 point, but with the ball. Of course, now the wind is against us here, so if a field goal try is to put us ahead or give us the lead, there's a little bit layer of difficulty there now. Michael's off to the right, gets tackled after a gain of 5. If we're going to drive down the field, though, like we typically do, we're going to need those little dump-offs to the running backs work as we get into the fourth quarter. There's Page on the button hook. Makes the catch at the 45. Timed that pretty well. Still a little bit to go. We've been stalling out around midfield, and like I said, we need to get at least to the 30 or maybe even the 25 for a field goal to work here. Minter gets some yardage. Out to the 32. Dynamo have an injured player. It's a Pro Bowl player. Looks like one of their linebackers. You hate to see players go down, but if a Pro Bowl defender is now off the field, might be able to do something with that. Michaels gets out to the 28-yard line. I really don't want to have to play for a field goal and then play defense for a solid like 3.5 minutes, but there's Michaels on the out route. We're able to dump it off to him. He gets close to the first down, but not quite there. And third down conversions, we have not gotten our last 3, maybe even 4, but this should be about as close as an opportunity as we can get. 3rd and inches, goal line formation. Jones, the ball carrier, as Michaels is getting a breather on the sidelines. Jones is still able to convert, and we are inside the red zone. This will be another run to Jones here on 1st and 10. Linebacker misses a tackle, and Jones is able to pick up another couple yards because of it. 2nd and 7. There's our offensive production to this point. 231 yards, which is pretty crazy considering how much we typically get. And we're out possessing the Dynamo about 2-1. Kozlowski got a couple yards on that one out to the 14, and this is huge right here. We want to score a touchdown if we can. We are well into field goal range, but we need to capitalize with some touchdowns. We've failed to do that all game so far. They're letting Michaels go on the zone. Is across the plane for the touchdown. I thought he was down short, but they're going to give it to him. And now the big question is, do we go for 2? I think we do here. That way a touchdown by the Dynamo will likely tie the game. And I'm going to go with the slants here. If not, we have Carey who can scramble. Michaels is all alone. Oh, he got 2 feet in. He got 2 feet in. Wow, I don't think he was in. Can I take a look at the replay actually? Carey drops back. I was eyeing this linebacker because I'm like, if he goes over to Michaels, I'm just going to run in. But he stayed, and Michaels had so much room over to the left. Carey still put it as close to the sideline as he can go. So there is, oh, his toe is in. Did his left foot even drag though? Does that count? I guess that might count right there. Oh my goodness, that is about as close as you can get. My goodness, what a game. We still got 3 minutes left to play some defense. Big thing is not to give up a big play, especially on the kick return here. Tucker's had some pretty decent returns as, again, he gets past the 30-yard line. All right, defense, this is for the #1 seed. If you can hold on for 3 more minutes, it doesn't matter what our next game is like, we will have a 1st-round bye and the 1st seed. They're going deep into double coverage. That wasn't even the guy I thought that pass was for. The other receiver just kept running. 2nd and 10. Only let up 51 passing yards. I feel like a lot of those were even in the 1st quarter. But we had that 80-run yard that we let up for the touchdown. That's been the Dynamo's really only offensive showing to this point, aside from that turnover when they probably could have kicked a field goal. Pressure eventually gets to the quarterback, so it's 3rd and 10. Going to play some zone here. Dynamo have not been very fortunate with their 3rd down conversions so far. We need to keep that going here as a defense. A couple guys across the middle. We've got one covered. And the sack. The coverage fails for the Dynamo. They have to punt. 4th and 15. I mean, it's too close in their own territory to even think about it, but even 15 yards is a lot. Anyhow. So here's the punt to Lamont. I'm just going to go ahead and fair catch it at around the 33-yard line, and now we can run some clock. First run should take us down to the 2-minute warning. They'll probably use a couple more timeouts on that. That's if we don't get the 1st down. If we get the 1st down, Michaels has some room to run. Out across the 45 to the 50. Diving miss by the linebacker, and there he goes. Michaels is going to more than likely send us to the postseason with the 1st-round bye. Michaels has come up clutch in these last couple minutes. First the toe tap in the 2-point conversion, actually the touchdown to that point too, but this one, we're just trying to run some clock, and he breaks this one for close to 60 yards. Well, actually 67-yard touchdown run. Now we'll put Michaels over the 100-yard rushing mark on the day. There are those touchdowns that we needed like earlier in the game. Now we're starting to put things together. It feels good, like we forced a turnover and got a field goal off of it. But that's been it. Like, we haven't had to rely on our defense getting us like too many pick sixes or fumble recoveries for touchdown. The offense, I mean, it's not every time that you break a 60-yard run, but we had a couple tries in the red zone that resulted in a field goal. Then we finally got a drive that we put it all together, got a touchdown. That touchdown might have very well been the dagger. So the Dynamo are right back to where they started about 30 seconds ago on the game clock, but now they're down by 2 possessions instead of 1. They are really going to have to move down the field here if they want a chance at winning the division. Chapman battles Combs for the ball there, makes the catch, gets the first down, but that's going to lead us to the 2-minute warning here. I suppose we can let up some more zone coverage here instead of playing man. As you get a look at Valentine, 5 for 16 on the day. Big ouch. Lewis somehow sneaks by Connor to make the catch on that one. It is across midfield, 313 yards for us as a team. I don't think we've eclipsed the 300 mark. That one was nearly caught by the Dynamo, but can't hold on to it. I guess we did have that one game with Michaels where we got like 200 rushing yards. I guess we had like 300 total yards on that one, but regardless, a good showing here by our offense here today against one of the better defenses in the league. Oh, I nearly read that one with Connor to seal the deal. It's an incomplete pass though, and 3rd and 10 upcoming. They're going with a 3 tight end formation. What on earth? All right, well, we're just gonna play deep if we have to. We also have 3 guys covering across the middle, a couple guys off to the side, just in case they like dump this one off. I don't know what they're thinking with 3 tight ends on 3rd and 10. You want to get some movement. Yep, that's triple coverage right there. 4th down, and this is it for the Dynamo. Not really make or break for the Dynamo. I mean, obviously they want the first round bye, but like, it's not like they're playing for their playoff lives right now. I think they've pretty well made it. Going with the screen on? No? Oh, single coverage, but Reed is able to read that one off the pass, and that's going to do it. Or about as close as you can get. I guess they still have 3 timeouts, can force a punt, but effectively, a first down here ends the game. Oh, there goes Michaels again. Let's go. Straight up the middle for a touchdown. Oh my goodness, Derek Michaels, you beast. What on earth? The Dynamo are just super choking right now. That one's another 50-yard run straight up the gut on a dive play for a touchdown. I have to look at his stats after the game here. That is incredible. Earlier, I was just kind of talking about how Michaels was like 12 yards behind the stats lead for total yards. I think he's pretty well in first after this performance, and that was with a lot of passes that dropped incomplete that he could have had even more yardage on earlier in the game. But he's showing that he wants to be the MVP. He might be close to 2,000 total yards already after this one, but still 1 game to go. And now the Dynamo, they still have all 3 timeouts. They have 1:20 on the clock, but they're down by 3 possessions, and their only touchdown was on a run that was broken about 80 yards. They've just not had any success with the passing game so far today. That one's just talked up across the middle, and they nearly still caught that after it was batted down. 2nd and 10. I think it's safe to say, though, let the celebration commence early. The Defenders, with the win here, will move to 12-3 on the season. I think they've won 7 or 8 in a row. There's Valentine getting sacked. They'll call a timeout to regroup. We've had a lot of close games in this franchise so far, but we're starting to put things together, and even the good teams like the Dynamo are, well, not putting up the best performances. Our defense is holding strong, only letting up 7 points in this game. I mean, if we can just allow, you know, 1 big play for the game and then pretty much lock down from there, that's a winning formula. I think the biggest struggle we had was against the Crocs that one day where our offense couldn't get anything going. 4th down. Oh, they got single coverage on Combs. They're able to make the catch, but they're going to have to hurry here since they've used a few of their timeouts. Under a minute to go. They're at the 40. Need to get it into the end zone, like I said, down by 3 possessions. Tucker receives this one for a gain of 6 or 7. Clock continues to run. Just like that, Valentine's kind of doubled his passing yards. Going to spike the ball on 2nd and 5 here. 42 seconds left to go. But yeah, for all intents and purposes, we have clinched the #1 seed. I don't think the Buzz... I think the Buzz were 2 games behind us as well. They will... Well, I'll have to see. We at least have the first round bye. I know that much. Another 4th down try for the Dynamo. They got a big pass play on their last one, but this is to keep the drive alive. They're going with the run. A draw on 4th and 5. No, not going to do it. That is the game. The fans irate, and justfully so. This Neal should win the game. Look at there, 196 rushing yards, 169 passing yards, both of which have exceeded expectations for what we normally have. DC's not going to call a timeout on this one. And there you go. Couple late touchdowns that kind of sealed the deal, but we have defeated the DC Dynamo for the division title. No matter what we do next week, we will have won the NFC East. And the Dynamo, after winning, I think, 7 in a row, this will be their second straight drop. They will be in the wild card round, maybe with the other wild card team being the Crocs, the other team in our division. So we will see how the rest of the division shakes out here. I'll take a look after the game at the standings, but can be a lot of shifting around, especially with all those teams around 500 in the playoff picture. It is official, 28-7. The Norfolk Defenders can officially celebrate. They have won the division, and I believe our last game is against the Venom, who are maybe teetering a little bit below that 500 mark. We might be able to rest our starters for all we know. But let's take a look at some stats. So here is Carey with his passing yardage, 13 for 22 on his passes, 1 touchdown, 175 yards. I think he still has 1 more interception than touchdown on the season. We'll see if we can at least even that out by the end of the regular season. Derek Michaels, 180 yards on the ground. Not quite his best total of the season. Got over that 200 rushing yard mark against Seattle, but still nonetheless an impressive performance, including 38 receiving yards, so over 200 total yards as a part of that one. 3 touchdowns. He had all 3 touchdowns. All 3 touchdowns, since we had 28 points, but a couple field goals and the 2-point try. He even had the 2-point try. Minter with one of his best showings of the season, 68 yards. Page also had 57 yards. Starting to get them a little bit more involved. Blocking, a lot of pancakes, only 1 or 2 sacks I think allowed, and that was the one where Carey just kind of stood in the middle of nowhere. And a few interceptions. Connor, I think, got his 5th or even 6th interception of the season. Reed with that nice deflection by his teammate to start off the game. And there you have it. Derek Michaels, player of the game, player of the season, likely to be the MVP. We'll see if he will actually play next week or if we can just afford to keep him healthy for the playoff season. I've actually wanted to see Wade Jones take some more carries other than just kind of garbage time, 2 or 3 yard carries, see if he can do some work across the reception and, you know, just taking those little dump off routes like Michaels does. I can already see that the Buzz lost to put them at 10-5, so I think that should do it as the rest of the week simulates here. Yes, indeed, there is your NFC division. The Defenders have clinched the #1 seed at a 12-3 record. Worst they can finish is 12-4. The best that any of these teams can finish is 11-5. But let's get a look at the rest of the playoff picture. The Wildcats and the Crocs are 9-6. We also have the Bandits. I'm going to have to look at the divisions here, though. So in the North, the Buzz have things locked down. I don't think any of the rest of these teams can make the playoffs. Buzz might have a shot at the 2 seed, though, if they continue to win. In the NFC South, the Bandits could overtake the Sailors for the divisional crown, but the Sailors, regardless, have already clinched a playoff spot. In the East, the Defenders and the Dynamo are both going to make it. The Crocs is the big question mark. Can they win their last game of the season and get in the playoff picture? And in the NFC West, the Wildcats are actually leading that division, and the Centurions have a chance to knock them off for the division crown. The winner of that division will only have 9 or 10 wins, so they'll probably be the least of the divisional winners. But again, there's your look at the NFC. Realistically, 8 teams in the playoff picture. The Centurions, like I said, their only chance is winning the divisional crown, and from there, you have a couple teams fighting for the last wild card spot, since the Dynamo already have one of the 2. And in the AFC, you already have 3 divisions decided. The Marshals are the best of the best at 10-5, but could fall to the 3rd seed, I believe. Sea Monsters have clinched their division, the Snowbirds and the Storm. And then that last playoff spot is between the Sharks and the Aviators. Maybe the Sabres still have a chance. Let's get a look at the divisions here. So there you go. In the AFC North, the Snowbirds and the Storm are fighting for that division crown. Maybe even the Aviators. We'll have to see how that shakes out. In the South, the Marshals have already won. Sharks might have a chance of making the playoffs. AFC East, the Sea Monsters are going to be the only team making it. And in the West, same with the Cougars. They've won the division. Nobody else in that division really has a chance. So we'll get an in-depth look at the stats and everything at the end of the regular season. But right now, Michaels is 3rd in the league in rushing. He has the most rushing touchdowns of anybody, but pretty solid top 3 right there. Michaels is only about 30 yards behind 2nd place. Sylvester Kennison for the Sea Monsters is pretty locked down with that #1 position. But if we get a look at their reception yards, only 123 for him, only 131 for him. Michaels has eclipsed the 400-yard receiving mark, so if we put his totals together, he is at about 1950 in terms of total yards, which would put him ahead of Kennison for the total yardage lead across the league. Let's get a look at the receiving totals as well. Yeah, leading receiver has 1,400 yards, and I doubt he has 500 yards rushing, so Derek Michaels has been doing the most work in terms of total yardage of anybody in the league. I wouldn't be surprised if he wins the MVP award, although they might be a little bit more leaning towards total rushing yardage or passing yards. But you get a look there at like the top passers in the league. Like, nobody really stands out from a good touchdown to interception ratio. I mean, the top rating in the league is a 78.1. That's kind of atrocious, and now I don't really feel as bad about Justin Curry, I suppose, as I should. I mean, you got Vinny Testaverde leading the league in certain categories as a free agent, like a 40-year-old, so that's kind of funny. All right, enough stats for now. We look to next week against the Vegas Venom. Vegas, not very strong in terms of total offense or total defense. The one thing that's kind of keeping them afloat is the turnover differential. They don't score very many points, and they have amassed a 6-9 record. Not going to make the playoffs, but would still be a spirited contest. Like I said, all the teams, I've been kind of telling this all season, all the teams are pretty even in terms of their overall. So for this one, it should just be a matter of, keeping them off the score sheet and winning the turnover differential game. Not forcing too many opportunities, but again, we can just kind of try some new things out in this last week. We've already clinched the last spot. We can maybe even try out our second quarterback if we wanted to, give Michaels a break, kind of like I mentioned, just maybe prevent some injuries, which really hasn't hurt us that much this season. But I don't want any solid names going down into the playoffs. But we have done it. We have beaten the Dynamo for the division crown and the first spot in the NFC. This will be the last regular season week against the Venom before we start the playoffs. I'll likely just get right into the playoffs and kind of show you guys how the first round went in the wild card round before starting the divisional matchup, whoever we play against. I'm probably not going to do an entire video just to showcase what happened in the wild card week. The wild card and the divisional round will be sandwiched together. But before I get too ahead of myself, we do have one more regular season game left to play, and we will see you then for week 17 against the Vegas Venom. Thanks for watching, and signing off for now, this is Kasabe.